Jessii Vee, and as you can tell by the title of today's video, I am once again going to be talking about a very creepy, horrifying animatronic. If you ever see this specific animatronic out there in the wild, don't go near it. Stay very far away. By the way, do you guys see the sleeves on this shirt? It's literally the longest lace ever. I can't decide if I hate it or love it. I kind of feel like Morticia Addams, which is kind of a vibe. Anyways, guys, before I jump right into today's video, I want to mention a couple fun things. The first is that if you are one of my subscribers in Ontario, Canada, I am doing a meet and greet on August 6th at our Peculiar Place store in Orangeville. I will put the address right here on the screen along with my meet and greet times, but I really hope I can see you there because I wasn't able to do the last meet and greet. I really want to meet you guys. Please come out and see the new store. There is no tickets for this event. It is completely free. I just want you to come and meet me and meet the store. But yeah, that is August 6th. And the other thing I want to mention is that we have two new items on our website, and they are both rainbow, which I love. We have a rainbow unicorn and we have a rainbow narwhal. They're both adorable. I love them. Perfect for summer. Love the rainbow. So I will put a link to those down below in the description. All right, so let's get into this very creepy video. So this animatronic that I'm about to tell you about is actually from the Rainforest Cafe. Do you guys remember that talking tree? You remember that? So these restaurants were first opened in the mid-1990s, and it was meant to be a place that you could experience the magic of a rainforest while you ate. This loud storm would happen every 17 minutes, lights would flicker on and off like lightning, gorillas would beat their chests, elephants would stomp their feet. There was just always something happening whenever you ate in this restaurant. I feel like I had a very love-hate relationship with this place because while I did usually beg my parents to take me, once I was there, I was always terrified. Always. There are also 40 tropical birds, tons of tropical fish housed in 10 300-gallon fish tanks, and right now there's only 17 rainforest cafes around the world. And one of them is actually in Niagara Falls, which is not too far from me. It's like maybe an hour-and-a-half drive from me. So if I go there sometime soon, I'm gonna have to vlog it and meet that tree, even though I really don't want to, and you're gonna find out why. I remember this tree used to creep me out so much as a kid, and most of the time it had its eyes closed, so it looked just like a statue. You didn't even realize it was an animatronic until you walked up to it and its eyes would just like pop open, and then it would just start talking to you ever so casually. I remember the way its eyes looked around the room as if it was like searching for me, and sometimes I would make eye contact with it and I would be like, no, there is no way it's looking at me right now. I would have nightmares about this stupid tree. Like, I would see her face whenever I closed my eyes. And I remember her name being Tracy, which I feel like is a very unimaginative name for an enchanted tree. No offense if your name is Tracy. I just don't know if it's that enchanted. Love the name, but for a magical tree? She would just tell you all kinds of rainforest facts as you stood there. And listen, I love education. I just don't love animatronics. And don't even get me started on those singing and talking Christmas tree toys. I had nightmares of those as a kid as well. I was just afraid of a lot of things. Still am today. So it's kind of funny that I do videos like this for a living now. I literally scare myself doing research all the time. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this creepypasta about the talking tree from Rainforest. Prepare yourselves, buckle your seatbelts. And by the way, I know I still sound sick. I can feel it. Well, obviously I can feel it, but you could hear it probably in my voice, in my nose. I just sound really stuffed up. Okay, so I found this creepypasta talking about what happens with this tree after hours. Like I said, during the day, it opens and closes its eyes and tells you facts, but there was this one girl named Priya who experienced her do something very different after hours after the rainforest was closed for the night. This story took place in the States, and there was a rainforest cafe in one of the malls by this girl's neighborhood. Her and her friends had been shopping all day and had hoped to go for dinner at the rainforest cafe afterwards, but unfortunately they were too late. It had closed by 9 p.m., which was a lot earlier than they thought it would be closed. All the employees had left, the lights were off, but they could see that animatronic tree in the very front with its eyes closed. They thought it would be funny to go up to it and take a selfie with it, but just as Priya held her phone up to do so, suddenly the tree's eyes just popped open. So she got really startled, she ran away, and then she watched as the tree's mouth opened and closed as if it was trying to talk, but the speakers weren't working. So one of her friends was actually brave enough to walk right up to the tree, put their ear beside the mouth to see if they could hear what it's trying to say, and Priya watched as her friend's face turned pale with dread at what she was hearing. When Priya asked her what the tree said to her, her friend wouldn't tell her. They said they just wanted to go home right away. The next day she found out that her friend had mysteriously passed away in her sleep. They had no health issues, there was no warning at all that this would happen, and Priya was so devastated and couldn't stop thinking about what the tree may have told her. So from that day forward, she was terrified of rainforest cafes and would do everything in her power to stay away from them. But 5 years later, when she had taken her nephew to the mall, he took her hand and pulled her over to the Rainforest Cafe so he could get a look at the tree. It was after hours again, and the tree's eyes were closed, but she felt this draw to go near it just to see if maybe it would whisper something in her ear just like it had to her friend. Part of her was terrified, but the other part of her was so curious to finally hear what it was saying. So the eyes opened, the mouth began to move, and Priya leaned her ear up to the mouth, and her blood went cold when she could hear it whispering,
"You're gonna die in 142 days.
And that's how this creepypasta ends. So yeah, this animatronic tree whispers to people the exact day that they're gonna die, which is terrifying. So obviously this tree told her friend that she was gonna die that night because she did. So that's horrible. Obviously this is just a creepypasta. I just have to say that disclaimer again. The Rainforest Cafe is not in any way affiliated with this story, but I just thought it was terrifying because I used to go to this restaurant all the time. And comment down below if you did. Have you been there before? I can't believe there's only 17 around the world. And lastly, since we've been talking about creepy trees, I want to talk about this legend from Japan. It's not about animatronic trees, but it's still pretty creepy. According to folklore, if you're ever in Japan, you may want to look twice before going anywhere near a tree because it might be a jaboko, which is basically a sort of vampire tree. This tree is apparently very deceptive, and from a distance, it just looks like a regular innocent tree. But if you look closely enough, you may notice that the branches look strangely capable of grasping things. And if you pay attention to the very base of the tree, you may notice that there are a lot of human remains piled up on the ground beneath it. So it is said that if you do encounter anything like that, you should run away as fast as you can before you become the vampire tree's next victim. It is said that jaboko trees were once normal, law-abiding trees until one day the land they lived on was soaked in blood. And when the tree's roots were drenched in blood, they were able to transform into this otherworldly, malevolent spirit trees that get their only sustenance from blood, which is super creepy. So if you get too close to one of these trees, it will snatch you up with its long arms, forcefully jam its appendages into you, and then remove all that lovely red stuff from your body. And yeah, that's that very interesting legend. I'm gonna be terrified of trees now. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want me to do more videos on animatronics, I definitely can. There are so many creepy stories out there. So give this video a thumbs up if you want me to do that. Don't forget about my meet and greet on August 6th. And if you would like any of the new rainbow plushies, I have linked them down below. But I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!